Suck it, nerds. Hey YouTube, how's it going? It's Vengeful Shadows here, and today we're going to be doing a quick video about a deck I was able to get to Platinum 1 with today. Or it was actually, I guess it was yesterday on Master Duel, 9 minutes, literally 9 minutes before reset. Okay, so that was pretty exciting, honestly. Lucky that the guy who was lagging I was playing against did not take too long, because that would have been very, very, very sad to miss it on the time limit like Yuki. I would have had to gone to the island for my grandpa. Okay, so the deck we topped with into the Plat 1 is the most hated deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Aside from like the Phantom Knight Heroic Champion Lockout, okay? And that is Eldlich, the Golden Lord, alright? Now, I know what you're saying. Come on, man. You're going to make a video about Eldlich, and hell yeah, I am. You bet your ass I'm going to make a video about Eldlich. It's the best deck around, alright? And not only is it one of the most hated decks around, and it's one of the decks that is hated because it's able to main skill drain, alright? And skill drain in Master Duel is kind of like how Mystic Mine is in TCG. It's like the bad guy, alright? So people really hate the skill drain in Master Duel, and I understand kind of is like, alright, you build your deck with all monsters, and now you can't activate your effects, but I swear the deck itself, you know, gotta do a little piloting on your own, okay? And even though Eldlich is not like super combo oriented, you have to foresee like the plays of all the meta decks and kind of know where to break their combos at, all right? Because Eldlich is a very resource dependent deck. So if you out resource yourself or like burn your resources on incorrect parts of the combo and then they extend into something like a Zeus and then they get control of the board, it's very hard to get the control back. Okay, so even though it seems low IQ for Eldlich players to just be like, oh, I resummoned Golden Boy and punch in or put him in defense mode and just kind of sit, the main idea behind the deck is simply like outlive the opponent and the resources. Okay, kind of let them play themselves, build up their boards, so when you crunch down with your traps and trinch attribute the board, you get the most bang for your buck, okay? And that's kind of like the idea behind Eldlich, is getting the most bang for the buck, okay? Get the most for your money, all right? He's all decked out in gold, so you know he likes get the most for the money, all right? And having knowledge about every meta deck and where to break them, and like as well as being able to assess those problems live time with timer, even though it's very nice timer, it's the opposite of a low skill deck, okay, guys? So just because you see some people just kind of smash in with Golden Lord constantly and make some mistakes, because there are a lot of Eldlich players that make mistakes. I see them. Don't let that fool you that that's how all the Eldlich decks are and how all the players are. There's definitely a way to play the game, and like there's playing the game and there's playing the game correctly, okay? And that's how you can pilot any deck. And even those who play the meta decks, like, you 100% know what I mean. Like, you see people going to combos and just going to some of the links, you're like, man, what the heck are you doing, okay? So that's very much true for the Eldlich deck, all right? And like I said, having the knowledge of the meta decks and kind of knowing where to go in and pop their combos and stop them is kind of what this deck is about. And the other thing I would like to mention is for beginners, Eldlich is not the worst deck to be trying out for the beginning. There are some that are a little bit easier than this, like I said, because once you're in the, like I say that it's a little bit better for beginners because even if you don't want to play Eldlich later, with the amount of resource pop and out resourcing you have to do with the deck, you 100% have to know like other meta decks. So you will very quickly pick up on the other meta decks and their combos and where to stop their combos and how they extend and which cards are their extenders, okay? Like, I learned so much about all the other decks playing this deck, okay? So that being that, I just want to show you for the proof of plat. If you guys end up wanting to drop a follow on here or duel sometime, I'm almost down. And again, guys, we are farming out those subscribes, trying to get that number higher. So if you enjoy any of this content at all, definitely drop that subscribe down below. Drop a follow on here, and if you want to play, and for any feedback, positive or negative, or think I need to work on something, drop a comment. We like comments, okay? We really, really like comments. Okay, now, real quick, we're going to be going into the deck list of the Eldlich. All right. And then I'll just go over a quick few things on there and some differences I would probably have, you know, like added, or some things why they're high. All right, so obviously we're going to start off with the best card in the game, and that's 3 Maxi. All right, I love Maxi. It's insane. I don't know if all the Eldlich builds play it, just because, you basically start drawing like copies of resources you already have. And Maxi is really good in combo-oriented decks where you can basically OTK on your following turn. You can with Eldlich, though. Then we also play 3 Golden Boy, and I want to just say 3 Golden Boy is the only way to play a pure Eldlich build. Opening or drawing Eldlich is sometimes the out to like a semi-established board, or sometimes it's the optimal card to have in the hand to like start triggering some of the effects during the end phase, like your Conquistadors or your Golden Lands, from pitching them from the hand. And then since Eldlich sends and not destroys, it allows him to get around certain cards when you're going second. So like playing 3 of him, some people are like, oh, what if you open, what if you claw? Because they think the best way is like the spell or trap into him. Sometimes having him in your hand is best, okay? Keeping that in mind, also, fun fact about Eldlich is when you use the effect to bring him back from the graveyard, you're not special summoning him from the grave, okay? So when you have things like Vanity's Emptiness on the board, his effect is to return him to your hand, and then you can summon him, all right? So you can bounce Vanity, or you can send Vanities, put Eldlich to your hand, and then summon him through the Vanities, okay? So you can do that to kind of get through certain cards. You can add Eldlich to the hand. He's not going to be specialing. Then you use the effect to pitch him to the graveyard to get rid of something that would stop him from summoning. So again, those are kind of like things to keep in mind with Eldlich, and that's why I really like to main deck 3 of them, as well as he's just the main guy of the deck, and your opponent's going to banish them, okay? We play 2 of the Elixir of Black Awakening, just because it's really good. It's a nice opener, and it's a good bait for Ash when you got some other stuff going, okay? One thing I want to note, too, is I do play 3 of the Pot of Prosperity, and I do want to say I do believe Pot of Prosperity in this deck is better than Extravagance. I tried Extravagance at the beginning, but Prosperity, not only can you kind of set up into it by playing other cards first to bait the Ash, but you also sometimes, against popular belief, really need your extra deck with this deck, okay? And being able to go into the OTK with the Gustav and the Lieb is just too good. Being able to go into a rank 5 like Pleiades is too good. And you will see later NTS is still strong as well. So being able to choose what you send for Prosperity, honestly, I find it like that alone is why I play it. But the other reason I play it is this being kind of like, I wouldn't say a combo deck, but it's nice when you're like, all right, I got, like my Sanguine, I have my Solemn, I have my Imperial like Order, or like a Conquistador, and like you would love to have your skill drain, or you have the skill drain, you would love to have a Solemn to make sure you don't get lightning stormed to death, okay? And being able to Prosperity, the chances of you getting the card you want are way higher than with Extravagance. Yes, you draw 2, but being able to excavate and pull exactly what you want is just way too good right now, especially in a deck like this one, okay? So I do recommend 3 Prosperity, and then late game, if you end up not wanting to get rid of the extract, get rid of it with the Golden Lord. You're getting rid of it, no worries, okay? Obviously, we play 2 of the Cursed Outland cards. Insane. Called by the Grave is insane. Ash Blossom kills you, so you kill Ash Blossom. That's basically how it goes. Having them stop your Sanguine or your Elixirs, any of them, horrible. It's the worst feeling ever. Like if that's the way you were getting out your Golden Boy and it's just gone now, you're waiting 2 turns rotations for banishes for you to be able to get another Sanguine or Elixir, so you're not looking too pretty. Okay, so being able to stop that Ash Blossom is very good. Called by is insane. We definitely mean the 3 Torrential Tributes, because Torrential Tribute is insane. Board wipes for days, and like I said, let the opponent establish as much as you can, especially if you got a skill drain on the board. Wipe that board, okay? It's super good. 3 Sanguines, just insane. Tech. Okay, so I played 3 Dogmatic Punishment, and it's insane. This card's insane. I loved this card. I loved opening this card. I love being able to play this card. normally if you need to if you need to be able to like punish someone, you don't need to exceed on your next turn. Maybe you don't have to exceed on your next turn. Maybe you can't. It'd be nice to be able to, but I feel like a lot of people get deterred from this card because the lack of extra deck you're able to go into. And I just want to say, being able to pop 2 cards, because you send the NTS so it gets to pop cards, so normally you get to pop 2 cards as punishment, is too good in resource format deck, okay? So punishment had kind of an MVP status in this, okay? Very much so won me a lot of games, being able to pop spells, pop field spells, not just monsters, because the emptiest, okay? Too good. Ice Dragon's Prison, sleeper. Very sleeper card, I want to say that. Saw a lot of playing the TCG due to side decking. Some Eldlich players made it. I do want to say this card's insane. It definitely is crazy in things like against going things like Bird Up and other grave dependent decks. I do think that it's like very strong when you're talking about like going against that. The one thing I would say is when I was like matching against Drytrons as well as Pendulum Magicians, the Drytrons kind of got the fairies, kind of, but like the Pendulum Magicians, you're SOL. Okay, this card was pretty dead against a few matchups, so if there was like a single card in my deck, in my main board, I would debate taking out for something like an Abiru, something like another Trap. I wasn't a big fan of Rivalry or Gozens. I think those cycled out late, like after this game started getting big. And I don't know, Ice Dragon's Prison put in the work. So if there was one thing that was even semi-considered, I'm going to be honest, it'd be this card. But it, against like Tri Brigade and like I said, Bird Up and stuff, put in way too much work for me to like get rid of it or even consider getting rid of it. Then after that, we got the 3 Solemn Judgments right there. Okay, really good. Make sure you don't get Lightning Storm to super emergency out. That's what we like to see. We only play 1 strike. As you can see, we play a lot of stuff to cost life points, and I just feel like strike gets covered by so much in the deck that I don't need to play strike. Okay, and 1's nice, like I like the 1 of strike, but opening multiples is horrible. I'm gonna be honest, opening more than 1 is bad. We play Imperial Order just because the card is way too strong. Okay, as everyone knows, amazing in this deck. Then we also play 3 of the Skill Drain because the card is way too amazing. 1 of the Vanity's Emptiness, perfect in this. Like I said, your Eldlich gets around it. That's why it's way too good. A lot of people just quit at the moment it is activated. Okay, then we play, sorry, cat's going for food right now. I had to stop it. We play 2 of the Golden Lands of the Pirates, okay? Because you get to banish from the opponent's graveyard. And then we do play 3 of the Conquistador. And I do try to urge everyone, unless you are literally in need of life points, don't just throw these out there to block, unless you're going to like let them die so you can search during the end phase of your next turn, obviously. But definitely do love these cards, and they come in, like, obviously the Conquistador comes in clutch, but banishing from the grave is just super important. Okay, extra deck, we'll just skim over real quick. We got 1 of the NTSs, 1 of the Pleiades. Okay, it's budget Volcasaurs. I'll keep it real with everyone, but I didn't take it out when I started filling out the extra deck because being able to blow something up, deal damage, and then go into a Gaia Dragon and then into a Zeus is insane. That's just too good. Okay, we play 1 Zenayo. Not a lot, but this card has come in clutch. Okay, especially against Mirror Match. Shark Fortress would probably be the one to take out at some point. I ended up not using this later tiers, but being able to attack twice was cool. I like an Infinite Track of the River Stormer because if you have to battle a monster, you can attach it to it as a material, so you can stop things from going to the graveyard. Okay. We played the M7 to stack on top of the Constellar, and then don't forget it's added more tech for the Zeus play, so that's cool. We got Gaia Dragon. We have the Super Dreadnought into the Lebo TK, FTK. That's insane. You just get 2 Golden Lords on the board. Overlaying him, detach 2,000. Overlaying him, detach for 6,000. He can make 2 attacks on monsters or 1 attack directly. Okay, so that's game. Super Dreadnought's cool, is unaffected. Like I said, we make the Zeus. We got the Nightmare Cerberus in here, Phoenix, as well as Vampire Sucker, which does come in clutch, let me assure you, okay? When you're locked into zombies, and sometimes this is the way to bring out your 3 Golden Lords and refresh them for 3,500 attack, this is the way, alright? Alright, guys, and the only differences I would have made to the extra deck would have been adding another NTS just to make the Dogmatic of Punishment more live more times. An Artifact Durandal, because when they activate a card, you can make it where they have to destroy one of your back row. And in this deck, unless you got like a Skill Drain active, that's really good. But then you wouldn't be using the Durandal, would you? And then we also got the Imduk World Chalice guy, and let me pull that up real quick. See if I can get that World Chalice. Because this card is actually pretty sweet. It's a decent card to use vanilla to summon it, and then if it battles a monster, you, at the start of the damage step, you basically destroy that opponent's monster. Okay, it has to point to the monster that it battles for it to get the effect, though. So that's why it's an interesting card. Didn't put it in, but I would definitely consider it, because I have seen a few times where taking one of these and going into a World Chalice would have probably, in the monster getting placed in the wrong zone, punish the opponent. Okay, so it's an interesting card I saw get played, would consider teching it. And again, guys, hopefully everyone enjoyed the video. Again, this is the Eldlich build that got Platinum 1. Very big fan of it. And guys, if you enjoyed any of this, definitely do hit that subscribe button, and we will see you next time with some more coverage, all right? Have a good day.